Keith, you and I went to the beach over the weekend, and it was a great day.
We did. We
had such a fun time, man.
Yeah, I know.
You picked up some sandwiches. We had a couple salami sandies, huh?
It was very last minute, too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you texted me last minute. You're like, hey, go to Bocato's.
Yeah, get some sandwiches.
Bocato's, that's how you pronounce it,
right?
Yeah, Bocato's, famous Manhattan Beach restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. You told me to go there, and I went there, and I got some sandwiches.
That's great.
Salami. Yeah.
Salami?
You told me you didn't have a preference on the bread.
No, I don't care.
I went with the French roll.
Yeah, great choice. The sandwich was excellent, but Keith, you got that. You also got some Gatorade and a Powerade. Actually,
I gave you the option.
Right, you surprised me. So when we opened the bag and you took out the Gatorade and the Powerade, and you were like, "Hey, pick which one you want." I was like, I don't know. I'm going back and forth, and the weight of the bag was lifted out, and what happened is when you took those drinks out of the bag, the bag and the napkins went flying.
Yeah. It was a windy day.
It was a windy time.
It was a windy day.
So the napkins go
the wind
flying.
got us.
They just go flying, and then I immediately jump up into action, and I'm trying to go get those napkins. I'm running,
I'm just sitting down watching you do your thing, struggle. Just watching you struggle, chase after those napkins. I'm like, look at that guy go. Yeah. Look at him go. Look at.
I'm going,
hard.
And I committed to one napkin, but then the other one, it split off, and then the other one split off, and it split off again. And
at one point there were about like 10 different napkins, like individual pieces of napkin, like all over the beach, and you were just trying to pick up each individual piece of napkin, and it was too many for you.
No, it was way too many.
Too much. Yeah, got overwhelmed at one point.
I did. I turned around, I looked at you, and you're just sitting there laughing. You're like, and I'm like running, dude. I'm running. I'm like back at the Strand. All these napkins, they're everywhere. It's too much.
I'm laughing. I'm having a good time.
Yeah,
seeing you struggle, trying to pick up these napkins.
Yeah, that's good.
You picked them all up.
I did, I found them all. It took me a while, but I got them all. Yeah, I did. I got them all. A good environmental guy myself. Picked up all the napkins, threw them away. Yeah. Came back, and first thing you said to me, you were like, "That was really funny." And I was like, "Well, I'm glad you had fun. I was running the whole time. I was just jogging, getting these napkins, man."
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then I decided on the Powerade, blue Powerade over the yellow Gatorade. Both were great choices.
Yeah, I gave you the options: lemon lime or blue Powerade.
Yeah, both were great choices. I went with the blue, and then that was it.
Yeah, and then we went in the ocean for a little bit.
We did.
Yeah, went in the ocean. It was a good time.
Refreshing.
Yeah,
very
the lifeguard
refreshing.
Actually, it was kind of a little.
Snafu with the lifeguard.
Yeah, it was unexpected.
Yeah, I was at my towel, and then you were in the water, and lifeguard runs over to you and is like, "Hey, get out of there!
Yeah.
You gotta go over to station 28." And you're like, "Oh,
yeah." Lifeguard said there was a riptide in the ocean. Yeah, where we were swimming. So yeah,
can't get caught in that.
Get out of there.
Gotta get out of there.
Not trying to risk losing any lives.
No, you can't do that. Keith, that's our time at the beach. Cue that theme music, huh?
It's good stuff, man. Getting some sun, getting that vitamin D.
That's right. Can't beat it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go.
Well, we were laughing and, having a good time at the beach. It makes sense.
Just putting on all the tracks. Here we go. Theme music and go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kel's Cuts. This is the podcast where we talk about, movies. I'm your host, Kellen Slattery, and I'm joined once again, as always, by my illustrious co-host and horror fanatic. You know him, we love him. It is Keith Vogt. Keith, how the hell are you feeling, brother?
Trying to figure out how I'm feeling today. I feel like a lot of things.
Okay.
Guess I'm feeling like a wolf.
Oh,
got separated from the pack.
Okay.
Feel like a lone wolf today. Trying to figure it out.
Oh,
trying to figure out my life.
Yeah.
And, get it together.
Good for you, huh?
Trying to find my pack again.
Good, man.
Find my friends. I got you.
Yeah, I'm here.
But you got to find that pack.
A couple of lone wolves on the prowl.
Yeah, you're like my brother. That stayed with me.
That's right.
Need to find the rest of my brothers and sisters. Where'd you all go?
I love it, as I always do. Guys,
searching the Alaskan wilderness.
Wow, you're an Alaskan wolf.
Do wolves live in Alaska?
Yes, of course.
I know wolves live in Wyoming now.
Yeah, well,
that was a big thing.
They're all around us.
Wolves, for a sec there, they were about to become like extinct in Wyoming, but then they brought them back to Wyoming.
Oh, good.
Because they're really good for the ecosystem.
Yeah, you need them. Well, circle of life, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's good. So, guys, if you've joined us before, you know how the show works. But if it's your first time joining us, we'll break it down for you. First, we start out with a box office breakdown. That is the BOB. Let me get some of that. Oh, yes.
Bobby
Ray.
We love you, Bobby. Bobby, you are our inspiration.
Yep.
And we love you so much.
Bobby Ray, B.O.B., Bobby Ray.
We hope you're doing well out there.
As always, we say, if you don't know who Bobby Ray is, B.O.B. was a rapper. Yeah. Famously, in 2012, came out with the album The Adventures of Bobby Ray, written by B.O.B. So that, famously coined the term B.O.B. box office breakdown. After that, we go over our boom or bust movie news segment. So we go over all the news in the world of film, television, entertainment, all that good stuff. And we give you a reaction of...
Boom, Bobby, we love you.
If it's a positive story, if it gives us feelings of positivity, happiness, all of those kind of feelings. But if it's a negative story, and if it gives us feelings of sadness, despair, all of things in that realm, we give you a reaction of...
Bust. That made me sad.
That's right. And after that, we go over our cuts, or our highlight of the week. And this week, I saw a lot of films. I actually saw all the new releases, Keith. I saw...
Jeez, did you really?
Yeah, I did. You and I saw Friendship. We saw that together.
Yeah, we did.
And we did a double feature.
We did do a double feature today.
Friendship.
Today.
Yeah. It was, Friday we went?
Yeah.
We go Friday?
Yeah.
It was Friday, Thursday, Friday.
So.
Yeah, one of those days. Friday, we went and saw Friendship, followed by Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch.
Of fun.
Yeah, great movie. Lilo and Friendship, both movies were great. Lilo and Stitch, I was pleasantly surprised by that.
It's really good.
Blew me away in a way.
Yeah, it was really good.
I cried 4 different times.
Jesus. Good for you, man. I know. At one point, I looked at you and you're like, "I've cried 4 times," and I was like, "What are you crying about? Like, it's a good. I get it, but what are you crying 4 times?"
At one point, Stitch said he had no family, and I cried.
Yeah, that'll get you.
It's a very sad line.
It's a hard tugging line.
Stitch, he's like this.
Well, in
a way,
guy.
Stitch is the lone wolf.
Yeah, he is
separated from his pack.
Right. Yeah,
and he has no family.
Yeah,
and he's trying to get it. Just have a family again.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
and he has he meets this family, Lilo and her mom, and
it's good.
It's a great story.
Sister,
you feel for Stitch. You just feel for Stitch because he's this little guy who's out, little blue guy.
Yeah,
he's out there. Yeah, he's out there alone in the world, and he really is out there alone. He has nobody.
He does,
and this family takes him in, and they show him what a family really is.
That's it. So
that's
Keith,
what Stitch needed all along.
We'll talk about Lilo and Stitch a little bit more in depth later on the show. I also saw Mission Impossible, so I saw all the new releases. I saw Friendship, I saw Lilo and Stitch, I saw Mission Impossible, I saw them all. Okay, so we're going to cover that during our cuts or our highlight of the week. We're actually going to cover both Friendship and Lilo and Stitch because you and I saw both, while I will cover some of Mission Impossible during the box office breakdown. After that, we go over our BSOTD. That is the bold statement of the day. It's our hopes, our feelings, our observations, aspirations, all of it packed up into one, a tight little bow. It's a present. It's a gift. We have it for you, and it will be revealed later on the show. Keith, do you have any idea what you are going to say, my friend?
Oh, God. I wish I did. I really wish I did. I don't. Yep. I'm sorry.
Neither do I.
I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry to the people listening out there. But we'll figure it out as we go. And, I have a lot of things that I want to say, and it'll come to my mind.
It'll come to my mind as well, brother.
We'll figure it out.
We'll close the show out, and that'll be it for us here on Kel's Cut. So without any further ado, it is time for the box office breakdown. That is the B.O.B. Oh, you know how I love that sound. You know how I love that sound. You know how I love that sound.
I know.
It's getting me going. Oh, my God. Can we get it again? Where is it? Oh, please, one more time. Okay, nice. All right, Keith. So
you just won't stop, will you?
I will not, Keith. It's the box office breakdown. This is from the weekend of May 23rd to May 25th. Now, this is the 21st weekend of the year. Can you believe that, Keith?
The big 21.
Weekend number 21.
Big Venti Uno.
Oh, my goodness gracious sakes alive.
Is it Venti or Vente?
Venti.
Venti Uno?
Venti Uno.
I think 20 is Vente.
Yeah.
Or is 20 Venti?
No, I think it's Venti.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay, so without any further ado, it's time for the box office breakdown. We've got number 5 coming to us from Warner Brothers Studios. It's its 6th week in the theaters. 6 weeks for this film, Keith. It had a 43.2% decrease with $8.6 million at the number 5 spot. last week it was at number 3. This week, number 5, it's Sinners. Sinners
Okay.
taking a dip. Finally, it took a dip over 30%.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. I mean, this movie has
Makes
been making
sense.
all the money in the world right now, sitting at a worldwide total of $338 million. It's pretty good for Sinners. We've covered the film ad nauseum.
yeah.
It's great. It's understandable. We had a lot of new releases coming in there.
100%. Yeah.
Just that
Especially,
simple.
Yeah, especially with this weekend. Friendship coming out, Lilo and Stitch coming out, Mission Impossible.
2,
all coming
3
out
heavy
in
hitters.
the same weekend. Yeah, those are boom, boom, boom right there.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just a given that Sinners and Thunderbolts and Minecraft are all going to take a hit. That's nothing against the films. That doesn't take away anything from how good of the films those films are. It's just the fact that there's other competition in the theaters right now, and you can only hang around in the top 5 for so long.
It's absolutely.
You know, Sinners
and it's
has
still
been-
in there.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Exactly, right?
6 weeks, number 5.
Yeah, I should say top 3, not top 5. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the fact that Sinners is still in the top 5 after
Right.
what? Being in the theaters for over a month now.
Yeah. God.
It's very
Month and a
impressive,
half.
and you love to see that.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dip is expected because the competition in the theaters right now.
It's fierce.
Yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
You just love it. You love to see that it's still hanging around. In the top 5.
Absolutely. Keith, next we've got from Walt Disney Studios. It is in 3,180 screens with a 41.8% decrease, bringing in $9.6 million. It's Thunderbolts. Last weekend, number 2. This weekend, number 4. Takes 2 spots in the dip. Thunderbolts right now sitting at a worldwide total of $357 million. You'd like to see this one making a little bit more money. Unfortunately, like you just mentioned, a lot of heavy hitters. Competition is fierce.
I'm just starting-
It is fierce.
I'm just starting to think. I think Thunderbolts was released at a bad time. I think it might have been better off for the movie to be released in maybe June or July.
Oh.
I don't know, man.
Something earlier, I think, because
'cause it was-
June, July, we have Fantastic Four, so that slot's
But it
there.
was-
But I think maybe a little earlier. I think you're on the right track.
My point is, like, it was clearly a good enough of a film to be
Yes.
released as a blockbuster summer release film,
Right.
in June or July or even August,
Right.
And I don't know. For some reason, we just have a lot of competition in this month of May right
Yeah.
now with Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible and Sinners and Minecraft and obviously Thunderbolts still in theaters. Yeah,
It's a lot.
I think it would have been maybe a better marketing strategy for Thunderbolts to maybe wait a month or 2 for the release. But it's a great film from everyone I'm hearing about it, and
Yeah.
you love to hear that it's doing great. You would just like to hear that it'd be racking in a little more money, but
little more for this one.
Again, it's so tough with the competition right now. You
right.
can't expect much of it right now.
Yeah.
Like with these 3 big movies
It's
coming
tough.
out, Lilo,
It's
Mission
really
and Boss, and then Friendship. So yeah, and also considering it's been in the theaters for a few weeks now,
It's his 4th week. Yep.
yeah,
So it's a month.
It's obviously expected to take a dip, but you would still like to see it hang around in the top 3.
A little bit less of a dip.
Yeah, you would want it to hang around in the top 3 right about this time because
Yeah.
I think Sinners at this time from when it was released, I think it's been like Thunderbolts has been in theaters for around 3 weeks now, like you said.
4 weeks. 4 weeks. Yep.
I think Sinners, when it was around for its 4th week, I think it was still hanging around in the top 3.
Sure.
And so yeah, if you're a Thunderbolts fan, you would obviously want that. But like I said, it's expected, man. With all this
It's tough.
competition in
It's
theaters
tough,
right
man.
now, you
Keith.
can only expect so much, even if your movie is great.
That's right.
The
Keith.
competition is that good right now.
We've got the next film here. It's its 2nd week. It's from Warner Brothers. It's on 3,523 screens with a 62.5% decrease. Not to mention this one, Keith. It's Final Destination Bloodlines, bringing in $19.3 million. The competition, once again, it is fierce.
I didn't notice how I didn't even mention Final D. in
1
my-
to 3.
my-
1 to 3. So a
I
dip,
just said,
but
dude.
as you said, expected. I don't even think we need to talk about it. It's 1 to 3.
Yeah.
It's an expected dip. It's just that
100%.
simple.
Yeah, expected dip. Yeah, like I forgot for some reason this movie was still in theaters.
Final
with
D.
how many great movies there are right now.
So it's 2nd weekend.
Okay, so we got Sinners, Thunderbolts, Final D. Wow, and then we got the
Mission, Lilo.
the top 2 are going to be Mission and Lilo.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, shout out to Friendship. Opening weekend, not squeaking into the top 5. I enjoyed the film. But
Yeah, it stayed at number 7.
It's always disappointing to see a movie in its opening weekend not make the top 5. It's
Yeah.
disappointing, but competition's too tough.
It's too tough. Keith, next,
tough.
we've got number 2. Keith, it's from Paramount Pictures. This is its first weekend on 3,857 screens with a $64 million opening. It's Mission Impossible, The
Nice.
Final Reckoning.
Nice.
Keith, this is the biggest domestic opening of the franchise, okay? This is the biggest domestic opening for Mission Impossible. They are doing something right here, Keith. It's Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I saw the film, Keith.
What'd you think, brother?
Keith,
me
Mission
know.
Impossible. That's a special movie. It's great. It's great.
Tom Cruise
Keith,
out here just laying his life out on the line.
For
entertainment purposes. Man.
Keith, I'm going to read. So, friend of the show, Guy Vanderbeek. Guy Vanderbeek. Nice. He texted me. He said, I need a review right now for Mission Impossible, Lilo and Stitch, Friendship. I need a review for all of it. What'd you see this weekend? So I'm going to read you my text. I'm going to read you what I said here. Mission Impossible. It's an overly complex plot that can drag at times, but the spellbinding action set pieces make up for any moment of lag with meticulously crafted spycraft tension, further character development of Ethan Hunt, and one of the best plane sequences that has ever been filmed. It's a long one, but I didn't want it to end. Another great time at the movies. I give this one a 4 out of 5, Keith. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning was great. Yeah. It was great with 2 main action set pieces. We have the big submarine set piece, and we have the plane sequence, okay? They are both excellent. The movie is long. Does it drag a little bit? Yeah, it's like at 3 hours. But I loved all of the spycraft, all of the nitty-gritty we kind of get into. It's a fun movie. And yeah, Tom Cruise, 62 years old, the guy puts his life on the line. He's the definition of a movie star. The supporting cast is always something that makes these films great. You've got Simon Pegg, you've got Ving Rhames, you've got Haley Atwell, you've got an excellent supporting cast. I think something that the Mission Impossible franchise does so well, not only a great lead performance, but the lead, the character of Ethan Hunt, he relies so much on his ensemble. And it's what makes his team that creates all of these Mission Impossible movies so excellent. When the title card hits in this movie, I was so happy. I was so happy because we've got this opening sequence and you're like, oh, this is fun. Okay, I know where we're going. And then boom, Mission Impossible title card, the whole thing, the cast of characters comes up, and it's like, man, I'm happy to be at the movies. I am happy to be at the movies. Back with the director, Christopher McQuarrie, who's done the last couple, teaming up with Tom Cruise. It's just another one. They've hit it out of the park. Keith, this biplane sequence with the planes in this movie, it's a bold statement. Might be my bold statement later. It's one of the best plane sequences I've seen on film. Wow. It is absolutely excellent. Man. It is so good. I saw this one in IMAX. Big projection. You are on the edge of your seat. And Tom Cruise delivers a great performance, as always, in the character of Ethan Hunt. He's so committed. It's so fun. It's really about spectacle. It's such a big movie. It's grand. It's got such a scope, you know? Yes, are there moments where the dialogue could have been cut a little bit? Yeah. There are. Are there moments of exposition where it kind of goes on, and we're going, do we really need to know that? It's a little over-explanatory. Yeah, it does. But did I love every second of it? Yeah, I did. I did, man. I give this one a 4 out of 5. It's a great movie. Jeez. Great time. Great time. I love this franchise. I don't want to see it end. So, Keith, I tell you all of that about my thoughts on the film. It's the biggest opening of the franchise. You think they're going to continue this? You think Tom has a little more left? He's 62 years old. He's doing all these crazy stunts. You know, people are more aware of what's going on. What do you think of all this? They're going to continue? They're going to not? I don't know. Give me something.
Yeah. No, I think 100% they should continue the franchise. I think at this point in the franchise's stage right now, and its life, I think it's the most popular it's kind of ever been right now. I feel like, just its exposure to people is really getting out there, and the fact that it took in 64 mil was the biggest opening weekend for the entire franchise. I say, why not? Keep it rolling, man. I mean, Tom seems like he loves it. Let's keep it going, man.
Absolutely. Keith, next, it's the #1 movie at this weekend's box office. It's making all the money in the world. It's from Walt Disney Studios on 4,410 screens with a $146 million domestic opening. It is Lilo and Stitch, my friend, with a worldwide total already at $361 million. Let me say that again. A worldwide total in one weekend of $361 million. Keith, that's already more than Sinners in 6 weeks. Keith, once again, that is $361 million for a worldwide total of Lilo and Stitch. I'll tell you this, my friend, it's the biggest opening weekend for a movie ever on Memorial Day.
Wow.
All right, Keith, it's the best Memorial Day weekend of the domestic box office we've ever had. We had Lilo. We had Mission Impossible.
Making history out here.
The double trouble there. Keith, it's Lilo and Stitch. We saw the film. We thought it was great. You have any comments on a Disney live-action movie bringing in that kind of money? $361 million on the worldwide Total.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're a Disney fan, what more do you want, man? I mean,
Really?
that's exactly what you wanted. Like the biggest opening for any live action Disney film ever. And yeah, the biggest opening for a Memorial Day weekend film. You got to love every bit of that. It's a great family film for everybody. It's a 4-quadrant film. Anyone can go out and watch this film and enjoy it. You know, it's emotionally rich as well. It could make you cry. It's definitely going to make you laugh, and it's going to make you feel good, bro. You know, it's going to make you feel like you're a part of a family. And you're going to love that little blue guy running around named Stitch.
That's right,
that
man.
Little guy, man.
You're going to love him.
Yeah, it was a great film.
You're
Great film for
gonna
everybody,
love
man.
him. Great film. Keith, that's our top 5 at the weekend box office. So, without any further ado, it's time to shift our gears. Let's get a gear shift here. Okay? We're going into our boom or bust movie news segment. Okay, Keith, this is our top story of the day, my brother. This is Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars have both been delayed. Okay? Normally, the Avengers films comes out in the month of May. First weekend of May. That's when the Avengers film comes out. Normally on schedule. But they've both been delayed to December releases, holiday releases. Avengers Doomsday is now coming to us at December 18th of 2026, and Secret Wars coming to us at December 17th of 2027. Keith, we've got a delay on the release date for both Avengers films. Is this a boom? Is this a bust? Why?
I think it's a boom overall.
Okay.
I think the original release date was a little too quick.
Oh,
I think people were a little...
We're shooting right now.
Yeah, I think people were a little worried just with how fast the process was going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a film this big,
yes,
it needs its time to get filmed. You know, you don't want to rush this thing and get it all done in less than a year. And,
yeah.
You know, next thing you know, you made a sloppy movie.
Right.
You know, the editing's bad, and it just feels rushed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to rush a film this big. So
yes.
I like the fact that they pushed it back, and I like it even more the fact that they pushed it back to December. That tells me that this is hopefully going to be a really great film with a December release date, because basically any movie or any big movie that has a big release in December is considered to be, you know, hopefully a great film.
Right. Keith, I agree. I give this a boom, and I'm going to build on that right there. I think by them putting it in December, this is a vote of confidence.
Yeah, right.
This is a vote of confidence.
Definitely.
When the movie is filming right now. Avengers Doomsday is filming right now. And if they were planning to release it May of next year, less than a year away, to me as an audience member, I go, is that enough time? Is that enough time? These movies are massive. These movies are so big, and all the pressure in the world is riding on these things, too. We just are feeling that Avengers and the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe has found their footing a little bit. We had Thunderbolts. We had Daredevil. Captain America was a bit of a misstep again there, but it's a miracle that they got that movie out and made. But we had Deadpool and Wolverine. We're starting to find our footing again, getting to that caliber of great and excellence. So I think them moving it to December is like, guys, we don't want to mess this up. We got something good on our hands, and we're going to make it even better. Okay? With a holiday release, it votes to me a sign of confidence.
Yeah.
I think it's a confident move. And what's interesting now, they're scheduled to have the same release date as the next Dune film from Warner Brothers. So I think Dune is going to move. Dune's going to move outside of that release, because what you're doing is cannibalizing your audience, okay? You're going to have people who are going to see Dune and are going to see Avengers. Those are the same audiences. Those people, the people who are going to see Dune, they're also going to see Avengers. It's not like some guy's going in like, I'm only going to buy a ticket for Dune. I'm not going to go see the biggest movie ever. Like, no. These people are going to see both movies, so one of them's going to move. Obviously, it's not Avengers. They just moved their date. It's going to be Dune. Dune is going to move outside of this release date, okay? That's what's going to happen, and it's interesting that they did pick the exact day that Dune appears on. But Keith, do you agree with that? Do you think Dune is going to move clearly here? What do you think?
I agree and I disagree at the same time.
Okay, what do you got?
I mean, I do agree that Dune should move, because the new Avengers movies, both of them are going to be such big films. You know, highly anticipated films, arguably bigger than Dune, or just as big, just as big or bigger than Dune, because Dune is a massive franchise in itself. So that's equal competition for Dune right there. Based off that, I think Dune should move. But I don't know if Dune will. I think Dune has gained enough respect and enough of a following and just like a strong fan base that I don't know if it has to move, and considering all the Oscar nominations it's already gotten, this is clearly a well-respected franchise by not only fans, but critics as well. And I think it has totally the right to stay put on that weekend. And I actually think my BSOTD is, I think Dune could take in more money than Avengers its opening weekend. I think that's how big the franchise is. Yeah, I really do, man. And why not? Why not? If you're a fan of like any like superhero or like big spectacle film like Dune or Avengers, why not go out there and see the double feature?
It's too much. It's too much.
Why is it too much?
Both films are going to be probably over 3 hours.
It's not too much. If
That's way too much.
If you're a film buff, you'll love it.
No, it's way too much. Keith, you've got a domestic opening for Dune Part 2 of $82 million. You've got a domestic opening of Avengers Endgame of $350 million.
Yeah.
But
do you think this new Avengers movie is going to live up to that, opening weekend of the original Avengers?
Of Avengers Endgame? Yes. Yes,
really?
I do.
You think it's going to bring in over 300 mil like Lilo?
I'm sorry, Lilo brought in 180.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Worldwide.
Avengers, yes, right. Worldwide, you're right. No, Avengers Endgame domestic opening weekend was over $350 million. Okay. It's two different ball games. It's two different ball games. Yes, Dune has that Oscar caliber there. It's two different ball games here.
Yeah.
We've got this is going to be the word on the street. Everyone and their mother is going to see Avengers Doomsday. Downey Jr.'s coming back. Yeah. This is no joke, folks.
Yeah.
Dune is going to move. I'm telling you right now, Dune is going to move. And if it doesn't, they're fools.
I'm expecting it to move too. I'm just saying I think the franchise has earned its like spot and its respect to like not move. I don't think that would be a big deal or shock anyone if it didn't move. It's Dune. Like, it's going to bring in its money either way.
Yeah, I mean, Dune 2 did make over $700 million, but it's not $1 billion. None of the films have grossed $1 billion in the franchise. Yeah. It hasn't. It doesn't have that commercial kind of success that an Avengers with this, over 20, I don't know how many films they've made now, over 29 film franchise. It just doesn't have it yet, And it is quite impressive that Dune 2 did make over $700 million. But the last Avengers movie made $2.79 billion.
Yeah, no.
It's two different ball games. It's not the same.
Yeah, Avengers, it just has such a wider audience. It's just going to be so hard for Dune to compete.
It's not the same.
And it's got a lot more lore, too, to it,
Yeah, there's much more riding on Avengers than there is Dune. I mean, Dune 1 and 2, they were good. I mean, I enjoyed them. But Avengers, this is much more anticipation,
we have 29
expectation
movies leading up to this film,
and this is going to be this is going to be a cinematic event like no other. There's too much riding on the next Avengers film where this puppy's going to move, and it's going to move quick. Yeah. We'll see. We'll cover it on a future shows there. Keith, that's Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, moving their release to a holiday release there. Okay, next we've got Regal Cinemas. They said that they've sold 2.9 million kilograms of popcorn over the weekend for Memorial Day, the biggest popcorn selling weekend ever.
Jesus.
Keith, that's a lot of pop.
That's a lot of popcorn.
Boom, bust. What do you think?
That's a boom, but it's a bust in terms of diabetes.
Oh, okay.
I hope no one gets sick and dies.
Yes.
But boom for the fun.
Yes.
I love a good popcorn bucket. We love it. I hope a lot of people went out there and got the Lilo and Stitch popcorn bucket and the Mission Impossible one.
Yeah, that one was cool.
Have you seen the Mission Impossible popcorn bucket, people? Oh my God, that thing is a spectacle to see.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
It lights up. It turns blue.
You got to get the key and you put it in there. Yeah, it's cool.
I know. Yeah, it's like you have to put the key in the hole, and you're doing like a little mission just to open your goddamn popcorn bucket. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you gotta love that, man. Everyone eating popcorn. Yeah, like I said, you just gotta, wish everyone well, health-wise.
Yeah, I agree, Keith. It's a boom because it was the biggest Memorial Day weekend ever. Yeah. People going out to the theaters, we love it, but it's a bust on the side of, guys, we gotta look out for our health. Should we all be eating popcorn? Maybe do no butter.
You think no butter or no salt? I'm gonna say no salt.
Really?
What's worse for you, butter or salt?
I think the butter adds the cholesterol.
It's melted. That's the problem.
Well, the salt is the
you don't even know where it comes
blood
from.
Pressure, but the cholesterol is going to be that butter stuff, huh? It's bad.
100%.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, popcorn is a low-calorie snack in general, so it's okay. But then you add all the additives, and that's where we get in trouble.
You know that butter machine is just... It's probably pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably pretty dirty.
That's trouble.
On the inside.
That's trouble.
It's like, I want to know what that butter machine looks like on the inside.
That is troublesome. Keith.
What are we putting on our popcorn?
I don't know, but give me some more of it, please, and thank you.
You prefer salt over butter?
I don't know. I love the butter on the popcorn. It's really good, man.
You're more of a butter guy?
I think so. At the movie theater, I think I get more of the butter. Yes. What are you?
I'm probably more salt.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Yin and yang. Gotta love it.
I'd say salt's worse for the diabetes.
Probably. Yeah. Well, I mean, salt's the blood pressure.
It's another debate.
Salt's the blood pressure. Yeah. Diabetes is the sugar.
Yeah.
It's a different ballgame there, dude.
Yeah.
Different ballgame, Keith.
I don't know what to tell you. I feel like neither are good for you.
Neither are good for you. Keith, that's a simple story. That's Regal Cinemas saying they sold the most popcorn ever for Memorial Day weekend. Next, we've got the Michael Jackson biopic, okay? The Michael Jackson biopic is coming to us, and it's got 22 days of additional photography shooting in June. They've got to do some reshoots on the film, and they are speculating that the movie now has to be split into two. Oh. 2 movies for this one, for the Michael Jackson biopic. It's becoming quite the big film, Keith, okay? The movie, I believe it's called Michael. The movie is called Michael, Keith, about the king of pop, and we're working on getting this split into 2 films. We've got 22 days of reshoots. This is according to The Hollywood Reporter. Keith, are you looking forward to the Michael Jackson biopic? And what do you think about a movie of this caliber being split into 2 films?
I think if you're going to have to split any biopic up into 2 movies, it's got to be Michael Jackson, right? I mean, come on, dude. One of the most famous musicians of our time, if not the most famous musician in all of time.
Yep.
I mean, this guy was an absolute performer.
Yes.
And the fact that they're making a biopic on this guy, I am very eager for it. I'm sure everyone else is eager for it. We've all been very, definitely, this has been long awaited. I mean, Michael Jackson, absolute legend.
Sure.
I mean, that guy's an absolute legendary person. So the fact that they're making this and they got to split it up in 2, to me, it makes sense because this guy was that, he made that much of an impact on our history and on the music industry. And I feel like if you need to make 2 movies to tell the proper story about him, then by all means, go do it. Now, I hope it's great, man.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I wonder who's playing MJ.
It's his nephew. It's Jafar Jackson. So his nephew looks just like him. But Keith, hold the phone. Keith, hold the phone here.
I'll hold it. I'm holding it right now, but I'm hyped.
So you go into a movie saying this is going to be 1 film, and then during production you go, this is too much. We got to make 2.
That's concerning.
What do you think of the change there? It wasn't their original plan to make 2 films.
Considering this was not their original plan, I guess that's more on the bus side, considering you're thinking, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? We hope you know what you're doing.
Right.
You got a lot riding on this.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to mess it up. So the fact that, they already started production and then they started filming and they're like,
they're done with the movie. They got to do additional photography.
Yeah, and then they're like, no, wait, we got to split up in 2. It's like, oh, okay. That's a little concerning just in terms of okay, you originally set out to make a certain film and it changed completely mid-production.
Right.
And that part of it's concerning, but trust the process. I trust what they're doing. I trust that they're gonna do Michael Jackson justice, and hopefully this is a great film. Now,
Keith, the movie is helmed by Antoine Fuqua, who famously did Training Day, as well as the Equalizer films, The Magnificent Seven. He's done a lot of great work, but I agree with you that it falls on the bus side for the 2 film aspect just because they didn't set out to do that originally. However, I do think it's smart that if you go, you know what? We got 4 hours or 5 hours of excellent movie here.
Yeah.
We can't cut it. We have to make 2 films. That's a boom, because it's telling me that it's that good. They have that good of material, but it's a bust on the side. It's a yin and yang. Yeah. So can we trust the filmmakers here? Do they know what they're doing? I think they do. I think they have enough here where we can say this is a boom, because if you sit back, you filmed your whole movie, and then you say, you know what? We have too much. We have too much here. The audiences need to see this. To tell our full story, we got to make 2. I'm going to lean on the boom side, but I definitely agree and acknowledge the busty elements here because of it's like, dude, we set out to make 1, and then we just we got ambitious. Get over our head. So we went in with a plan. Now we're shifting to plan B. That'll be interesting to see. And especially will be interesting to see how they release these films. You know, if you're putting out 2 movies, you probably got to do a year apart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're trying to get some Oscar buzz on this puppy, you know, it's interesting. So we'll keep our eye on this. I agree with you. It's a mix of a boom and a mix of a bust. You got a little bit of both here. Got a little bit of both. But it's very exciting to see Jafar Jackson, nephew of Michael, in the role. Antoine Fuqua, very talented director at the helm. So it's something to keep your eye on.
That's what makes it a boom for me. The fact that they're even making this biopic and the fact that his nephew is the one playing Michael Jackson. That's enough I need. That's all I need. That's all you need. That is all I need. That's a boom.
Yeah, that's right. Keith, next. So the Cannes Film Festival just happened. Cannes Film Festival. You know, they famously award the Palme D'or, which is the big award to the next film. Last year at Cannes, you know what won the Palme D'or?
Anora.
That's right. Sean Baker's Anora, which went on to make Oscar history. Yeah. Keith, this year, the big winner at the Cannes Film Festival was none other than Jafar Panahi's It Was Just an Accident.
I saw
it
that.
It won the Palme d'Or. This movie is coming to us from Neon. So Neon is just you know, they have done a ton in recent years. They did Parasite and Anora, 2 Best Picture winners. Yeah. Now we have the next one from Neon. It Was Just an Accident from Jafar Panahi. That won the Palme d'Or. Keith, we've got this one coming to us later on in the year. It's already has Oscar buzz because of this. The last film to win the Palme d'Or was Anora, won Best Picture. Now we've got Jafar Panahi's It Was Just an Accident winning Palme d'Or. Obviously, it's a boom. How could you give this a bust? It's a boom. But where are the expectation level for a film like this? Do we need to check it? Do we need to say, you know what? It won the big prize. Let's see how it is before Oscar season. Or is this already a lock for a Best Picture nominee? Where do you land on that? What's kind of the buzz? Because I'm telling you it won Palme d'Or. Is that enough to put it already a front runner in the Oscar race? I don't know. Where do you land? What do you think?
Considering it did win the Palme d'Or, I do think it's at least going to receive some Academy buzz.
Right.
I don't know how much.
Yeah.
But based off it winning that award, I am 100% certain that it is going to get some nomination buzz when the award season comes around.
Right.
I don't know how many nominations it'll get or anything like that, but I know it's going to be that good of a movie to at least receive some awards.
Right.
I'll probably say right now it's at least going to get nominated for an Oscar. I'm not sure what, but it could be Best Picture considering it did win that award.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Anora, you know, it won that award and then it ended up winning Best Picture. You had Triangle of Sadness winning the Palme d'Or.
That's right.
A couple of years ago.
Good eye, brother.
That got nominated for Best Picture. You had, what was the recent one?
It was Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall won the Palme d'Or, and then it got nominated for Best Picture as well. So in recent years, all of the winners of the Palme d'Or have, majority have been nominated for the Best Picture at the Oscars as well.
Yes.
So based off that, you got to assume that it's going to be a highly, it's at least going to be nominated for something.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know what, but it's got to get your excitement going.
Yeah.
And I really don't know shit about the film.
I know.
I don't know anything about it.
Yes.
And I'm curious, and I want to see what awaits, and I have no idea who the director is, and I want to know more about him. I want to know more about the film, and I can't wait to see it. I have no idea what it's about.
Absolutely. Keith, I think you hit it on the head right there. You know, we had Anora, Anatomy of the Fall, Triangle of Sadness. Before that, we had Titane. So that one wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
That's right.
But before that, we had Parasite, which went on to win Best Picture.
That's right.
Before that, we had Shoplifters, which was a very famous one. Then before that, we had The Square, I, Daniel Blake. We had, Winter Sheep. Blue is the Warmest Color.
Oh, Blue is the Warmest Color won the Palme d'Or?
It won the Palme d'Or.
Oh, wow, that's a great movie. It's a wonderful French film.
Before Blue is the Warmest Color, it was Amour in 2012, which won. No, excuse me. It was nominated for Best Picture. It was nominated. Before that, we had The Tree of Life, which was also nominated.
That's right.
So there's definitely a high level of pedigree with these films. I think you're right on the money with it will be nominated for an Oscar, definitely. But is it in the Best Picture race already? Can't confirm.
You know it's...
Can't confirm.
I'll say this. You know it's at least going to be nominated for Best International Film.
Yes.
100%.
Right. So keep your eye on
100% Best International Film nomination. Probably going to win. I guess that's my BSOTD right now. What's this movie called?
It is called It Was Just an Accident.
It Was Just an Accident. The current winner of the most recent Palme d'Or
will
win Best International Feature Film at the Oscars in 2026.
There you go. You got something there, Keith. Keith, that closes out our boom or bust movie news segment. We're already rolling into our cuts or our highlight of the week.
Quick.
That's good, man. You got to do a quick one.
No, I feel you. I just enjoy talking to you.
I know. It's always good, man.
Enjoy
Keith.
our conversations, enjoy seeing your face.
I enjoy it too, brother, but it's time for the cuts or the highlight of the week. Keith, we saw a couple of films. We're going to highlight them. Let's start out with the first film we saw. It is Friendship. Keith, it's Friendship. Now, this film was directed by Andrew DeYoung. It is about a man who tries to befriend his charismatic new neighbor, but it soon threatens to ruin both of their lives. It's starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd. Keith, it's Friendship. What'd you think of the film?
I enjoyed the film.
Okay.
My expectations were pretty high. I thought it was going to be one of the best comedies of the year.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I guess I'm saying unfortunately, I think it still might be one of the best comedies of the year, and that's a diss on us not getting enough quality comedy movies in theaters right now. That's what the diss is there.
Yep.
I think this movie was solid. I don't think, if we had a lot of great comedy movies coming out, like when we were in our heyday with Judd Apatow, Talladega Nights, all those type of movies with Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Paul Rudd, all those guys.
Yep.
I don't think this movie would compare. I think.
Right.
Yeah, I think if we had 5 of those great comedy movies come out this year, I think this would be sitting outside the top 5.
Yeah.
But we're not getting a lot of quality comedy films right now, and I thought this one was quality. It's just I've seen better comedy films than this, but it was solid. I enjoyed it. There were a lot of funny scenes in this. I think Tim Robinson is he's a very funny man. He's very talented.
Yes.
I love it. I like his style of comedy. He always playing those obnoxious characters.
Yes.
Just causing a ruckus. And, it's like everything is normal. And then Tim shows up and he just does something outlandish and crazy. And then you're just sitting there like, what?
Yeah.
You're just like, you're at a loss for words.
Yeah.
So that's the style of comedy. You got to love it. At some points in the film, like you did say, it felt like a little sketchy. It felt like a lot of the comedic scenes felt more like a sketch rather than being in tone with the pacing of the film.
Yeah.
They kind of felt like they were their own thing, and you kind of just wanted to throw it in there just to add another comedic scene, which I don't know if that worked too well for me, but that being said, I still enjoyed the comedy, the style of comedy. I enjoyed the story. The story had me hooked multiple times. I mean, Tim Robinson's character, he's married in this film, and he does a lot of fucking wacky ass moves in regards to his marriage. And,
oh my God, does he?
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
The premise of the film, to sum it up in one sentence, this guy basically throws away his entire relationship and his entire life for trying to make a friend.
Yeah.
By just trying to make a friend.
Yeah.
And by trying to become friends with Paul Rudd, and how horrifically wrong it goes.
Yes.
His entire life basically stumbles apart as it happens, as he's trying to force this friendship that really shouldn't be forced at all.
No.
Onto his life, and I think in return that causes a lot of other problems in his life, that affect his own relationship and everything else.
Yeah. Keith, that's a good takeaway. Keith, I'm going to read you my text right now. Once again, friend of the show, Guy Vanderbeek. He texted me and said, "What'd you see? Give me the reviews. I need them now." So I'm going to read you my text, what I said about Friendship. Keith, Friendship is a dramedy with the absurdist humor style that we know and love from Tim Robinson. Yes. The story keeps you guessing. You never really know where it's going to go, but sometimes Tim's performance in the script felt more like an elongated sketch rather than a feature film. However, I was rooting for the characters throughout, and although I am not sure they fully nailed the near impossible tone, they definitely attempted to capture it. Yeah. Okay? I give this one a 3.5 out of 5, Keith. It was pretty good. Did I have really high expectations? Yes. Was there a ton of laughs in this movie? Yes. Yeah. The movie's really funny.
Remember when he fills up his coffee all the way?
Oh my God, it's my favorite scene in the movie. Guys, there's a scene in the movie where Tim, for some reason, fills up his coffee to the absolute brim.
Opening scenes in the movie, too.
I'm sitting in the theater and I'm just busting up. No one else is laughing. I'm busting up because he's like, excuse me, full cup of coffee coming through. And he's like, it's just so absurd.
It's so like to the brim, dude. And he's just like, full coffee, full coffee, full coffee. He's like walking down the hallway.
Right.
People are like avoiding him.
So there's some scenes in the movie that are super funny, but they become a detriment to the film because Tim sometimes in some scenes will just be screaming at the top of his lungs, and you're like, that's not that believable as a character. Yeah. Yes, I understand the character that we've developed you as, but you're also a person. You're also still a person, and it comes at the detriment of the film sometimes. Yeah. Takes me out of it and goes, oh, okay, we're just watching a sketch. But then we proceed to the next scene, and we're like, no, I still have to empathize with these characters and really root for them. So it's a fine do-si-do dance line they're going on. That's why I thought the film was pretty good, had the expectation to be great, didn't quite hit it to be great. Yeah. Certainly, Tim, I think, did a very nice job for his first kind of big performance as an actor, but I did think he was hindered by some of his sketch comedy tendencies. And I think Paul Rudd did a nice job here as well. He kind of balanced out the yin to the yang. It was a fun movie. It was very fun. But once the credits rolled, I was going, you know what? I wanted a little bit more. It just got a little too sketch comedy for me. I didn't fully get to roll out the emotional arcs of all the characters. There was a lot of kind of meat on the bone, but I didn't think we chewed it all. I think they put a lot of meat on the bone, but we didn't chew it all. We didn't get enough. But it was still a good movie and a good time at the movies. I would recommend it for streaming, but at the same time, you got to see comedies with an audience. Audience because it was really fun hearing other people laugh at stuff. Honestly, it was great. You know,
whenever you've seen a horror movie or a comedy in theaters, you got to see it with people. Yeah, like you want to be laughing with someone next to you, and you want to be scared with someone next to you. You know? Those are two great genres of film that are great to see in theaters. But yeah, I loved it. I did, man. I thought it was great.
You did? Would you give it? You would go over 4 on this one? Keith, you're saying it's great.
I know.
Don't fuck with me here. You're saying it's great. If you're saying it's great, it's at least a 4.
It's solid. It's 3.75 for me.
3.75. So Keith, you go above me. I go 3.5 on this one. Yeah. Could bump down to a 3 because I'm not sure I'll remember it.
I liked how original it was.
It was.
Like when you said basically at any point in the movie, you really don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah. You really don't. Yeah. There are certain scenes that happen in this film with like mega plot twists.
Yes.
Mega plot twists.
It's true.
Like as an audience, you watch it and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like what just happened? Oh
totally
my God. Like
true,
what is going to happen now?
Yeah.
And it was very interesting. It was just a very interesting take, an original take on, an outcast trying to make a friendship, and him being even like kind of more outcast,
right?
When he's like actually putting himself out there, because like Tim Robinson, he is this outcast type of character. He's an oddball,
right?
And then when he finally puts himself out there and tries to make a friendship, the friend group, they kind of see how, some of the oddities that he has and some of his weird tendencies, and they don't want to be his friend anymore.
Yeah.
And it makes you sad, bro.
It does.
I remember,
it really does,
I remember I felt very sad for Tim Robinson's character multiple times throughout the film, because here's this guy trying to put himself out there and just make a new friend, and he's still the outcast.
Yeah.
And still no one wants to be his friend.
Yeah.
And I don't care how weird you are. I don't care how quirky you are, how much of an oddball you are, dude. Everyone deserves a friend.
That's right.
Everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves friendship, bro. If anything, bro, the weirder you are, the more I want to be your friend, dude.
Yep.
That should be like... That's another conversation.
No, Keith, I think that you hit something very core at the film where they do... Tim is this oddball. He is this weirdo. And for you were able to empathize with him even more than I was, because some of the stuff pushed me away a little bit where I went, that's not completely realistic. But for you, some of those elements actually worked.
Yeah, man.
Where it made you kind of endearing towards Tim and rooting for him even more. So it's interesting how the film worked in some ways for you, didn't work for me. At the end of the day, we both really enjoyed the movie, and we can't argue. It was really funny. I just had even higher expectations for it, and I thought it got a little too sketch comedy. Rather than when he needed to lean into the feature film aspects. We're a little different on there, but we agree it was a good time at the movies for sure. Good time at the movies. Yeah, we had some fun.
100%.
Yeah, Keith. Next, we've got it's Lilo and Stitch, man. It's Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo.
This movie is making all the money in the world. Keith, Lilo and Stitch. It's the live-action Disney remake. Once again, I'll read you the text I sent. Keith, what I thought of Lilo and Stitch? This movie's delightful. Lilo and Stitch is delightful. It's one of the best live-action Disney remakes. It captures great heart and humor, okay? The cast was stellar, all right? The little girl who played Lilo, what a star-making performance, okay?
Legend in the making.
The movie is paced incredibly well. It flew by. You and I both agreed. It's a crowd pleaser.
I felt like I was in there for 45 minutes.
Honestly. There's a couple moments where the messaging felt a little heavy-handed. Felt a little heavy-handed for me, but it's all in the purpose of great positivity, you know? And I'm going to be honest, this movie was funny as hell.
Oh,
There's tons of laughs.
God. Oh, that made me forget.
Billy Magnuson, dude, was hilarious. He worked so well. Billy Magnuson.
Billy Magnuson. I thought Billy Magnuson stole the movie with his comedy, bro. I thought that guy was absolutely hilarious. Billy Magnuson and Zach Galifianakis, that little comedic duo we have in the film, oh my God, that gives us all the comedic relief we need right there.
Yeah.
They are so funny in this movie. And every time they're on screen, you are just laughing. You are just laughing with them, man. Laughing at all them, just watch them do their quirky stuff, you know, because they're two aliens from the other planet, you know, trying to capture Stitch, and they disguise themselves as Zach Galifianakis and Billy Magnuson.
Yes.
And they act so silly and so funny.
Fish out of water.
Yeah,
fish out of water.
Literally fish out of water, because they're two aliens trying to disguise themselves as human beings. And yeah, as you can imagine, they're pretty wacky with it. And yeah, they're so funny. They're so funny. I thought their comedy totally like carried the film in a way. I thought it made it like so much more enjoyable.
I agree.
I didn't expect the film to be that funny, and to have that like just such a style of that like silly comedy. It was so silly.
Yeah.
It was just
super silly.
Oh yeah, you just see him do like the stupidest thing, and you're just like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I agree. It totally worked well. The silliness added to it because it allowed me as an audience member to have fun. I had fun with these guys, man. I wasn't, I didn't have to take it too seriously when they were on screen. And then the emotional moments where when Lilo and then Nani were on screen, they really hit for me. The whole idea.
That's the beautiful thing about this movie. 1 second you're laughing, and then 2 minutes later in another scene between Lilo and Stitch, your eyes are watering.
Right.
Because Stitch is, telling Lilo about, his story and how he has no family, and Lilo's trying to comfort him and give him that family. And you're just like, oh my God, like this story can be so funny and so emotionally rich at the same time.
Right.
You gotta love it, man. Yeah, love the balance of that.
Absolutely. I think it's very profound. This storyline of Lilo and Stitch is timeless because Lilo, their parents have passed, where Lilo and Nani, they're lacking that parental figure, so that there's that absence of family, but then Stitch comes in as this figure who adds to the family and really culminates and rounds out the full picture. So it's one of those things where, I'm always reminded constantly in life of the classic Rolling Stones line where you can't always get what you want, but you get what you need.
Stitch kind of, that's a great quote.
Yeah.
Stitch kind of fills the void that the parents left.
Right. In a different way, but it's the way you didn't know you needed.
It's the way you didn't expect, the way you didn't know you needed. And when you watch it unfold, you watch like, wow, okay, I did need this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I cried like 4 or 5 different times.
You cried 4 or 5 different times. At one point, you said that to me, and then
seriously, I was laughing, and then 2 minutes later, I'd be crying.
Yeah,
I'd be crying because
I turned to you. I was like, "What's going on?"
The story was that funny, and also can be that sad at the same time.
Right.
It was so great how they blended both two genres together in such a brilliant way, and made the movie fun as well. Such a fun film. How about a Hawaiian roller coaster ride?
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Is that like one of the greatest songs of all time, or what?
Yeah, Keith. I thought that the aspect of the Hawaiian culture was excellent. You know what? We were actually supposed to have friend of the show Tim Cruise on today, but he came down with a bit of a throat. He had a kind of a cold going on.
It's okay, Tim.
Tim, he's from Hawaii. Tim's from Hawaii, and he told me that he was so impacted by the representation of culture, and he said that a lot of it made him feel like he was home.
Wow.
And that gives me goosebumps right now. I'm sitting here with goosebumps across my body because a film has the power to do that. And this timeless story of Lilo and Stitch, you and I weren't that educated on the original. We had seen it, but it wasn't at the top of our like memory scope of all the Disney films. So you and I went into it a little blind going, okay, let's see this new rendition, this new edition of the story. And we both walked out saying, that was great. Yeah. That was a great, it was a great time to make this movie too, because we just had Snow White. Guess what, Keith? Lilo and Stitch in one weekend made what Snow White made in its entire run. It's an entire run. That's insane. Lilo and Stitch says, you know what? Hold our beer. We know what we're doing.
That's insane. That could be more of a diss to Rachel Ziegler's media training, but that's another conversation.
That's another conversation. Keith.
Yeah, wow. Jeez, Lilo, though. Lilo and Stitch.
Excellent performances. A stellar cast.
It deserves this much hype.
It really does. It really does. I think this is a great one. I really think this is a great four-quadrant film, as you mentioned earlier.
This was
kids, adults, everyone.
Yeah, this was maybe the best live-action Disney film adaptation I've ever seen.
One of the best for me, not the very best. One of the best. It's right up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jungle Book for you?
Jungle Book, I think, is the best. I love Beauty and the Beast, too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But, Keith, so we've
got to be top 3 in the live-action adaptations for Disney.
I think it might be. Keith, I loved, I really wish we had Tim here on the scene. We could get Tim's perspective maybe next week on the film. Keith, the surfing scenes and some of the scenes of Hawaiian culture, I felt a different lifestyle. The movie had the storyline set in Hawaii, and I think they did such a nice job of the culture when she's going from job to job. She's having trouble finding a job, the surfing, all these little things, the little details, and how, Lilo would go in the hotel and stay in the jacuzzi and kind of party with people and all this stuff. I just felt this different kind of aesthetic and culture. I think they really nailed that.
Yeah.
And translating animated to live action is very tough.
Yeah.
They did a nice job. This is a great movie. I give this one a 4 out of 5.
Oh, they knocked it out of the park, man.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I might give it a 4.25.
Giving 4.25.
Good.
Wow, big score.
Hey, you're making me cry 4 different times.
Yeah,
dude. It's got to be at least a 4.
Big score.
Yeah,
big score.
And you're making me laugh as much as this movie did.
Right. That was funny as hell, man.
Go out and watch this movie,
man. Yeah, you gotta see Lilo and Stitch. It's a total crowd pleaser. It really is.
Total crowd pleaser, man.
Keith, right now sitting at a 93% audience score with a 69 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, 93 on the audiences. And they're responding, Keith. This is the biggest live-action Disney opening ever with a 360.
I don't know why critics are only sitting at 69. And
it's charming as all hell. This movie is charming as all hell, brother.
That's a great word for it. This is a charming film.
It really is.
Yeah, it charms you with its laughter, with its tears.
Yep.
With its emotionally moving story.
Yep.
With its characters, with its love, with its family dynamic aspect to it. It just charms the hell out of you.
It really does, man.
Yeah, and it just makes you feel like you're a part of their world, and you just want to become part of the family of Lilo and Stitch.
Ohana.
It makes you want to become part of the family of Lilo and Stitch.
I want to be in the family.
Ohana means family.
That's right.
And family means no one gets left behind. Stitch.
You gave me goosebumps right
Stitch,
there, brother.
We love you.
We love you, Stitch.
We love you. It's our little blue guy.
That's right. Keith, this movie was directed by Dean Flesher Camp. He also did Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Marcel the Shell.
So this is a guy, who has a very, very close attention, I think, to sensitivity.
Yeah.
To care. To care and sensitivity with a character like Marcel the Shell with Shoes On that he did, the YouTube series with Jenny Slate, but he also did the feature film. He's making a movie about a 1-inch shell that has the emotional push and pull here.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to make Lilo and Stitch. I think this is a perfect choice for a director, and I think, like you said, the guy knocked it out of the park. He really showed an emotional intelligence and care for what he was able to develop within these characters. Like I said before, are there some heavy-handed moments of emotional pull? Yeah, of course. Of course there are. I would expect nothing less. Does it get a little heavy-handed sometimes? Yes, it does. It's not a problem, though. It's not a problem. When you're trying to make a 4-quadrant movie, it's okay if you lean a little bit too into some emotions and some elements and some messaging. That's okay. How's the journey? And the journey is impactful and important. I was digging every second of it, brother.
100%.
It really was.
And the original Lilo and Stitch movie, the animated movie, it's emotional. The scene where the Stitch's creators, they come and try to capture him and take him away.
Right.
And Stitch says in the original movie, he says, Ohana means family. And family means no one ever gets left behind.
Yep.
And that's a very emotionally rich moment. And, a lot of people cried during that scene. So it was interesting to see if the new live adaptation would be able to carry over those emotional elements and make the live action version just as emotional as the animated version was. And I think the live action version nailed it.
I agree.
In those emotional moments. As I cried like 4 or 5 different times.
Good for you, brother. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy.
I really am too. I would see it again. I would see it again.
Oh, jeez. You think I don't love to cry? I love it, baby. Jeez.
I would love to see this one.
God, really. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. It's not just a sad film. It's not just a happy film. It just gives you all emotions in one. It just makes you feel like you're part of this amazing Hawaiian family with a little blue guy, and you just love it.
Guys, it's Lilo and Stitch. Go out and see it. We had some fun time at the movies.
The music as well. Very good.
Music's excellent.
Oh, and then last thing, I hear a lot of people complaining about the fact that Lilo's sister, she gave up custody of Lilo. Who the hell gives a shit, people? Just enjoy the goddamn film. If you're an adult complaining about that plot line, bruh,
guys,
it's Lilo and Stitch. Just go out and enjoy the film. Stop complaining about this needless shit, dude.
I agree, but it's also an excellent plot line. It makes 100% sense.
Yeah,
this is a character who wants to be a marine biologist who's not fit to take care of a child right now.
Yeah.
You want her to give up her whole life? There's an impactful line in the movie that still sticks with me. What would Lilo want? Yeah. What would Lilo want? She wants Nani to have the best life that she can.
Yeah.
Okay, so that plot point worked excellent for me, and I agree with you. It's such a nitpick.
Yeah, why are we nitpicking this
guys,
shit? Dude,
come on.
Enjoy the damn
enjoy
film.
The film.
Enjoy the film. Have some laughs, have some cries, enjoy the movie. Instead of nitpicking all this custody bullshit.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's an excellent character choice, developed very well, and makes 100% sense. Yeah. And I think the ending was that much more emotionally effective for me because of the choice. Yeah. I think it's great. Keith, that's Lilo and Stitch. We enjoyed the film. Lastly, it's time for our BSOTD. That is our bold statement of the day. Our hopes, our dreams, our thoughts, our feelings, our aspirations, all of it packed up into one. A tight little bow. It's President's gift. We have it for you. Keith.
I really got to go to the bathroom.
Keith, go to the bathroom right now. I'll tell you something that I've got, guys. Guess what, okay? This is the situation we have here, folks. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, had some of the greatest plane sequences that have ever been shot on film, okay? Tom Cruise lays his life on the line here. He's over 60 years old, strapping himself to a plane. He's literally hooked with his leg onto the plane in certain sequences of the film. It is so spellbinding. The tension builds and builds and builds. I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat, and I'm going, how is Tom going to make it out of this? How is he going to make it out of this? The filmography is so excellent. The wide shots combined with the close-up shots, they do a very interesting thing to keep building and building and building and building tension. When they switch to a wide, to a close-up, to a medium shot, all the different kind of aspects and elements work so excellently well in the film, and you have a great performance. There's literally a sequence in the film where the wind is brushing on Tom's hair, and it's just making him look like he has this bowl cut because the pressure is so intense. Guys, this is like a 20-minute sequence. If you haven't seen Dead Reckoning, you have to see it, and you have to see it on the biggest screen possible. See it on the biggest screen possible. It's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning with some of the best plane sequences that have ever been shot on film. That's my bold statement of the day. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Keith, welcome back, my friend. It's time for your bold statement of the day. It's BSOTD. Hopes, dreams, thoughts, feelings, aspirations. Something simple as popcorn is the best snack of the movie. 2, something as complex as Brad Pitt is the greatest movie star in all of Hollywood history. Keith, what do you have for us right now? What do you got? Bold statement of the day.
I feel bad that I missed your Mission Impossible.
Oh, no, it's great. It's great. You know what I think of it. Keith.
Yeah, you do love it. Yeah.
You got to fill me in. You've got a bold statement. It can be something simple. Let's go quick. What do you got for us here today?
Okay. I think The Conjuring has some of the best scares in any modern-day horror movie.
Wow. Okay, so I think a couple of weeks ago you talked about Insidious. Now you're talking about Conjuring. Yes. Can you shout out a scare maybe? What do you got for us?
Yeah, I want to shout out 2 scares. I want to shout out the clap clap scare. I think everyone knows the clap clap. Mm-hmm. You know, when she's stuck in the basement and, you know, she turns on the light, you know, the match, and then those 2 hands clap behind her. You got to love that. And then the other scene where one of the sisters, the older sister, is in that room because the younger sister is sleepwalking and she gets back into bed. And then she turns around towards the dresser, and that witch is hiding, like cramped up on that dresser, and jumps on top of her.
That's a good one.
That's
man.
a great scare
that
right
really
there,
is,
dude. Yeah, I just love I love James Wan scares. I'm shouting out James Wan again, man. I love that.
Good. He's one of your favorite filmmakers.
Yeah, he really is. I think that guy's so incredibly gifted at crafting a great horror scare.
Yeah.
And crafting great suspense and tension and giving a good jump scare as well.
Yep.
And he's done that time and time again in a lot of his horror movies, and Conjuring's just, a small example. And yeah, I love that movie, love the scares, and love James Wan.
There you go. So Keith Scott, Conjuring has some of the best scares in a modern day horror film, and I have Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning has some of the best aerial plane sequences that have ever been shot in the history of film. Guys, that is the bold statement of the day. That's Keith. That's Kellen. That's the end of the show. That's Kel's Cuts. It's a quicker one today. We usually take a lot longer, but guys, we are running through it. It was fun.
It
was fun, man.
It's past 11
It's
PM
late.
right
We're
now.
recording late tonight. It was fun.
We're a couple of tired couple.
We are. But we had some fun talking to you. We hope you had fun listening. That was a good show, man. Really, a lot of fun. We covered the box office, a couple of news stories, and we did our Cuts highlight of the week. We did it all today on Kel's Cuts. That's the show. Once again, I'm your host. My name is Kellen Slattery. We've got our illustrious co-host and our horror fanatic. You know him. We love him. Keith, how are you feeling to close us out? Give us those final thoughts. Earlier, you were feeling like a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Still feeling the same?
No, now I'm feeling like
what are you feeling?
Feeling like a geyser.
Okay.
I'm feeling like a geyser right now.
Of water?
Yes.
Nice.
Like one that, the geysers in Yellowstone. Yeah, I'm feeling hot, steamy, ready to drink a Gatorade.
Let's go get one, brother.
Let's get it.
Okay, nice. Guys, that's Kel's Cuts. That's the show.
Fruit punch.
Oh, love it, brother. I'm getting a lemon lime myself. Guys, thanks for joining us. That's Kel's Cuts. Without any further ado, as always, the closing line. We'll see you at the movies.
Geysers, baby. You got to love them.